Good evening. Welcome to Loud Poets. Please clap your hands, stamp your feet, and make some noise for your host and compere, Kevin McLean.
Hello, and welcome to Loud Poets! Oh yeah! That is what I need on the last night of our Fringe run. Thank you so much for coming along. I dearly appreciate it. My name is Kevin McLean. I will be your host for this evening, what is becoming our annual. This is our second annual Loud Poets Fringe Slam. Oh, give me a little cheer if you've been to a poetry slam before. The slammers, good. Give me a cheer if you have never been to a poetry slam before. Damn, a lot of new people. Nice. Well, whether you have been to just one or whether you've been to a million before, we appreciate you coming along to this one. I say it at all of these shows during the Fringe spoken word is like the sort of smallest section, the most kind of looked over section in the Fringe. We're going up against like thousands of guys with a microphone doing jokes. Oh shit. But it's nice when people kind of opt out and go and see something a little bit different, a little bit fringe, as it were. So we appreciate you making that choice and coming along. All month we have been a platform for some incredible spoken word artists. We have had over 60 incredible performers on this stage over the month, and we have, pretty cool. And we have 9 more of them for you this evening. 9 incredible poets are going to be taken to the stage in a poetry slam. But for all the new people, what is a poetry slam? Well, that is where we judge poetry. All the poets going, no. Poetry slams, they were invented in Chicago. They were a sort of idea to get people along to see poetry. And as this is our biggest audience of the run, I guess that shines through. A bit of competition tends to drag some folk out, and it's a chance to see a kind of cross-section of the people in the scene. So we opened up kind of submissions at the start of the month. People apply to come and be part of the slam. We pulled some random lots, and we have 9 tremendous poets for you. It's going to be wonderful. It will be divided into 3 rounds. We will start off with 9, then we will go down to 6, then we will go down to 3, and then we will be left with 1 slam champion who will walk away with this belt. Oh, an actual slam championship. We thought it would be very fitting. You will have to pry it out of my fingers at the end, because I'll want to keep it. But yes, we have, how do we decide which of those poets goes through to each round? How do we decide who gets to hold aloft the Loud Poets Slam Championship? Well, luckily, I don't have to make those decisions. We have 3 wonderful judges here this evening representing Loud Poets. We have our resident PhD in spoken word. She's got the brains, so we make her do the shit jobs. Give it up for Katie Ailes! Joining Katie is one of the poets that we had on throughout the run, one of our lovely features that came in for a Loud Poets Best of Fringe show. They were also an original Loud Poet, someone that's been with us since the very start. It was our first gigs and has been there all the way through. We are super pleased to have him here judging. Give it up for Lewis Brown! And our final poet, our mean Simon Cowell poet for the evening, she's in full character, and she is proving that you should never stop for a casual chat with me at the Book Fest. Give it up for Sian Bevan! Oh, Judge Civil War. Sian, for those that don't know, does a lot of amazing work as a comedian, as part of the literature scene, and as part of City of Lit, who are based right here at the wonderful Scottish Storytelling Centre in the John Knox House building. It wears many hats, but it's a lovely building. So thank you very much to all of our judges. Now, there is only one missing component. We have our wonderful poets, we have our 3 beautiful judges, and we need a sacrificial poet. So what normally happens at these sort of poetry slams is we have one poet that comes on the stage and is killed. That's why we're running out of volunteers. No, well, they're essentially there to warm up the mic, to kind of get the judges, that first one out the way. There's a kind of historic thing in slams where it's a bit shit going first. So we will have a very special video sacrificial poet. But before that, what I'm going to do is give the poets the running order. So your poets for the first round in this order will be Natalie Jane Clark, Alison Kistner, Dan Weber, Joe Hunter, Rob McGlade, Mark Lewis, Jess Smith, and rounding us out will be Mars O'Shea. Don't worry, poets, I know you're concentrating on poems. I will read those names out as we go through. I will introduce you to the mic. I'll give you a heads up when you are the next one coming up as well during each intro. Does everyone follow along? Does everyone understand what's happening? Good just to do a check-in, you know what I mean? If there's one person going, I thought I was at an improv show. No. But yeah, it will be wonderful. But for our sacrificial, he was going to be up as part of our Fringe run and unfortunately couldn't make it. But very thankfully, we had him in earlier on in our season as part of our sort of funded Creative Scotland season that we're taking part in. It takes place here at the Storytelling Centre. We're very, very thankful to have Tony Walsh up, Tony Walsh. And he does a poem called The Slam Prayer. And there is no better way to kick off a poetry slam than with this. Tony Walsh.
So when I'm hosting a poetry night, early in a poetry night like this, I like to pray to the gods of Poetry Slam to make sure that we have a good evening. Will you join me, please, in the Poetry Slam prayer? Will you join me? Yeah. Okay, there's a few lines for you guys to repeat, and it goes like this. Let us pray. O holy gods of Slam, please bless tonight's judges with wisdom. Please ensure that tonight's audience members are well endowed with clapping, cheering and whooping. Tonight we beseech you that the poets are fearless, that the poets are magnificent, that the poets are not shit. Oh, holy gods of Slam, tonight we pray. Bring us nail-biting, tail-writing. Bring us groundbreaking sound-making. Bring us heart-stopping, chart-topping, page-ripping, stage-gripping, hard-shoving, bard-loving, loud-speaking, crowd-freaking, eye-popping, cry-stopping, chest-pounding, best-sounding, pride-spitting, side-splitting, tears-stinging, ears-ringing words. Now you? Bring us fist-shaking, wrist-taking. Bring us long-lasting, tongue-blasting. Bring us race-winning, face-grinning, brain-shifting, pain-lifting, truth-teaching, youth-reaching, goal-setting, goal-getting, great learning, hate-spurning, speed-dating, greed-hating, blind-seeing, mind-freeing, tub-thumping, blood-pumping words. And again. Bring us street-fighting, grease-lightning. Bring us shock-jocking, block-rocking. Bring us scene-stealing, dream-feeling, hole-filling, soul-thrilling, life-changing, wide-ranging, worth-waiting, earth-quaking, jaw-dropping, war-stopping, peace-making, piss-taking, fool-hounding, cool-sounding, star-turning, bra-burning, girl-powering, world-flowering, queer-saving, fear-braving, trailblazing, whale-saving, tree-hugging, free-loving, beat-missing, sweet-kissing, lip-slinging, hip-swinging, unzipping, fun-stripping, shit-kicking, clit-licking, good-looking, love-fucking poetry. Amen. See you in the second half. Cheers.
Tony Walsh, everybody, an absolute pro. What a gent. Lovely. Thank you so much for letting us use the video. But now we move on to the Poetry Slam. Are you all ready? Yeah. Second up is going to be Natalie Jane Clark. But first, your first slammer on deck. Please go absolutely wild for the amazing Natalie Jane Clark.
Hello. All you need to know is that I've been a teacher for quite a while now. So this is called Report Card. Callum Mackenzie, 2PH. Working grade, 2E. Behaviour, 3. Effort, 3. Homework, 4. Callum has shown improvement in his behaviour, but he must remember not to talk over the teacher. We've been studying the short story Lamb to the Slaughter, and he has demonstrated an understanding of characterisation and can comment on the author's use of language to create mood. He should carefully edit his work and be reading regularly at home. 350 characters. I'll sum you up in 350 characters. The system cuts the rest. I'll sum you up as 2E, which stands for second level in reading and writing. whatever that means, in terms of poetry and themes and discussions and empathy, and 350 characters to say, I remember when you refused to write a word. Boring! Our united frustration. How could you forget to bring a pencil every single lesson? One pencil! How hard I was on them. 350 characters to say, I remember when you told me you had no imagination. You couldn't write anything at all. I ignored the other 29 pupils whilst I read a poem that I knew you begrudgingly like. And I smiled, and you smiled. I copied out a line from that poem to anchor yourself in, showed you the power of repetition. You completed a piece of work, a piece of great writing from the heart. You gave me your feelings. I blue-tacked them to the wall close to me. 350 characters to say, I snapped at you on Monday and on Tuesday. On Wednesday, you snapped at me first. Thursday, I attempted inherent calm. I'm the adult in the room. Patience. We can always turn this around. One number to say, your behaviour was better than it was yesterday, but not as good as before. You challenge authority and, mostly it's never that bad. It's just asking, why? Why? Not at the best times, in the best way necessarily, but why? I have values. I have beliefs. Questioning everything, challenging authority is a good thing. Just not me, just not now, please. 55 minutes, 30 pupils, 30 emotions to regulate, 30 futures to teach, inspire, try to write in. 55 minutes shouldn't matter, but it does. One number to sum up your effort. We are all trying our best, but compared to them, your best is just not good enough. I'll sum you up in 350 characters. The system cuts the rest. Thank you.
Wonderful stuff. We have Dan Weber on deck, but coming up to the stage now, please welcome Alison Kistner!
It worked. Hopefully everyone here can forgive me for messing with Mary Oliver. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. I don't know how to love without sorry. I overboiled the eggs again. I drank your half of the wine, forgot, in an excess of 2 fingers. Against the dim, I believed we were peaceful. The curtains gleamed, the streets clean. There was a candle placed on the window's ledge, its wick double-flowered. By some light, I had thought I was good. Sorry. Too often I am unmade by fire. My nerves unravel at smoke axe muffle strokes. In heat, I lack perspective, lack the spine to wear a beautiful dress. The nature of your tenderness ill-prepared me. Your heart sleeves blowing cankerous, each pulse point rippled like a fuck. Meanwhile, I've imagined your hands buying nice hats, tucking auburn into pear groves you are gold in false memory. With childhood knees as bright as torches, I can follow uphill and be home. But I am prone to such delusion. I understand your anger. I forgive. I pretend. In the dark, where I can pine, deer, fallow, bird chewed, I am a collection of doe's eyes strung out like larkspur. My metaphors congeal, overspend. At least a corpse would be a wound mothers notice. I overboil the eggs again, but do so willingly. I drink too much of the wine, but buy another bottle before the stores close. Against the dim, I can hear your headlights turning off from the main road. You are coming too near to be near to me. Still, I wait. I worry the tallow of your rushlight, no candle, no oven, no Nova, an oven, a kiln. Devotion. I am a domesticated animal, groomed to soft violence. You honk, and gently I lay my shins across the blacktop. Darling, I know how you love. Thank you.
Stunning stuff. Soon up will be Joe Hunter, but coming to the stage right now, Dan Weber!
Before we go any further, I think it's important to give a content warning. My poetry is not very good. At the Odeon, near Birmingham New Street, we are watching Frozen 2. A spur-of-the-moment decision made on a hungover Sunday afternoon. I am with my boyfriend of 10 months. We sit at the back, hand in hand, laughing because we're the only adults there without children. And halfway through the film, it hits me that after hashtag give Elsa a girlfriend, Disney might have listened. Choking back tears, I imagine children looking up at the big screen, seeing their heroine end credit scene, embracing a member of the same sex. True love's kiss. A message to all the boys in the Elsa dresses. To anyone who ever felt out of place as a child. A statement that no amount of placards in the playground can halt progress, that we are here and we are valid. When I saw the Love, Simon trailer in the cinema, I cried. Struggled to explain to my best friend sat beside me how important it was and how 10 years ago, a film with a homosexual teenage male lead would not have been made in the American mainstream. And if I'd seen that film when I was 16, 14, 12 even, I might not have been so afraid of myself or how I was feeling. I choose to believe in my lifetime there'll be a gay Disney princess. And it won't be done for effect. It won't be released in Pride Month to appeal to that elusive queer market. It won't be cut out or dumbed down like Star Wars in China. It'll be front and center. And for the record, it should have been Elsa. Deserved to be Elsa. And this is how it should have happened. Spoilers for Frozen 2. Anna, the new queen of Arendelle, sends a message to her sister in the north. Elsa, the fifth spirit, climbs upon her water horse, turns back and says, "Aren't you coming?" Honeymaran smiles. Climbing up, she slips her arms around Elsa's waist, and they ride off into the sunset. And because this is Disney, they both live happily ever after. The end.
I've never been so glad to see a content warning be so wrong. Guys, coming up we have Rob McGlade, but right now, head into the mic, make all the noise for Joe Hunter!
You are wondering what I am. I can see the curious condescension in your eyes. You cannot figure me out, no matter how you test, tease, and try. You always think I am going to answer with a lie to your interrogative stares of, what am I? Because I confuse and confuddle. Your conceptions of the gender binary are slayed and muddled. Because I stand before you, an inexplicable enigma. Not really. Made you think, though. Listen, if you really want to know, you just have to do the unthinkable task and fucking ask. And I will tell you that I identify as a hot person. I identify as the hash brown in a full English because it's the best bit. Don't fight me on this. I identify as a cool summer breeze. I identify as the soft crunch of autumn leaves under careful feet after they have cascaded from the trees. And I am a tree that will never cease to grow. I identify as chaos itself. My pronouns are what-oh. I am a £5 club card bottle of wine. I am grunge, I am punk, I am hardcore, I am grime. I am a million beautiful things intertwined, labyrinthine. I am next day macaroni cheese. You know, when that sauce is thick and congealed? I am buried treasure, beautiful when unsealed. I am lasagna in the eyes of Garfield. I am the Eurovision Song Contest. Fellow queers, nice. I am joining a Zoom call when you're only half dressed. I am your closest friend that you were led to believe was a filthy pest. I am Rata-fucking-Tui. I identify as my mother telling me that I am loved. I identify as my father telling me that I am enough. I identify as my friends telling me, do you know what, your poems aren't actually that guff. I identify as strong and resilient and tough. Call my bluff. Let me show you what stuff I am truly capable of. I identify with and as the things that make me ooh and ah, the things that make me smile, the things that make me want to continue identifying for a little while. I am everything that I hold close, and I am everything that I love the most. That's what I always think I'll say. Truth is, if you come up to me and ask me, what am I? I'll think it through, and I'll look back and I'll say, I'm just Joe. And you? Thank you.
On deck, we have Mark Lewis, but right now, coming up to the mic, please go wild for Rob McGlade!
Hello. I don't drink as much as I used to, but I often think of when I did fondly. And this is a lament to chaotic drinking in Dublin. It's called Celebrate. Clink out the glasses, it's a celebration. Let's unwind, let's celebrate. Clink out the glasses, salute with the flute. Let's open the bubbly and drink its horrible content. Yeah, it's not nice, but it's expensive. And I love nothing more than plugging my gullet with finery, indulging and divulging in winery and dinery. Thick red paint on me two front teeth, adult Ribena, bottle juice box. They'll need a gobstopper to stop it pouring down this gob. Rob, stop. Rob, no, I've started, so I'll finish. And I'll finish later. I'll finish when I'm done. I am not done. I am not gone. I'm gone, man. Pop open the pop lobbity do nothing to stop me now. I've got the goose, start pouring me point, fuck it, start pouring two and ready. Hot toddy, stick on the kettle. I can't wait for this Guinness to settle. I have to hop on a bus in the town, so for now I'm fucking down and brown. I mean it. I'm out for the night, and this time I won't be avoiding a fight. I'll fucking bluff it by acting hard. Use the cash for the sniff, charge the rest of the card. Let's fucking celebrate. Let's spend money we don't have. We'll worry about that tomorrow. Clink on the glasses. Let's do a church crawl at the midnight masses, the earliest hoist to the blood of Jesus Christ from scumbag to yob, jobless to job. Blessed art thou who put goblet to gob. Amen, amen. It's communion again. Sweet elixir of all of us, glide down thy esophagus. Esophagus, Saint Sant Augustus Padre Pius. I lost me place in the world and now just accumulate spit. Your place is there somewhere. Saint Anthony will find it. Thank you.
We have a Jess Smith on deck, but coming up to the stage right now, please make some noise for Mark Lewis!
Good evening. I regret to say this is a woeful tale of greed and self-destruction. Cautionary tale. Beautiful books in boxes keep dropping through the letterbox like ignored invitations to Hogwarts. It's so easy to order online, and during lockdown, there wasn't much else to do with my time. So many books pile up like Tetris blocks. I'd need 3 extra pairs of eyes just to keep up, but I can't afford them. So I pile the books up on my chest of drawers, then order some bookshelves online. It's so easy to order bookshelves online. So I buy more books to fill them, then buy more bookshelves until I run out of walls in this small city centre apartment. It gets out of hand. Controversially, I have to double stack. Now I can't see all the spines. I'm in danger of losing track, and my mind, I don't have time to read. I have to work to pay for more books and rent the rooms to hold them. I buy another book. The Amazon listing says only 2 in stock. I feel my heart beat faster as I order. God, I need to get outside. The books spill out to the shelves. They sit in stacks on kitchen faces. I have to work around them, avoid stains from curry powder, try not to splash them with washing up water. The books expand through the living room, collecting condensation on windowsills. I balance cups and saucers on the books, covering the coffee table. Worse still, I find books I don't remember buying. Are the little bastards breeding? I recall the words of the lifestyle guru Tyler Durden, the things you own end up owning you. And it's true. My parents call me, it gets worse. I've always been the same, hoarding Beano annuals, Thundercats colouring books, comics called Eagle and Tiger. My parents are moving house and can't keep my library of hoarding and neglect in their attic anymore. It has to go. They bring the first 7 boxes. I pile them up into a book tower of doom. It's like Jenga, only books. And they topple like a book avalanche, and I'm pinned. I lie down in defeat, a dying animal buried beneath sedimentary layers of books.
Finishing off the round is going to be Mars O'Shea, but for now, please put your hands together and welcome Jess Smith!
Grandpa's last words to me were, well, aren't you a tall glass of water? Grandpa was a Navy man, a diving ship and sailing man. He made a living displacing 6,900 tons of water, submerging himself among creatures we know only as monsters in places too dark for seaweed to grow, where anglers fish with false moons and sharp teeth, luring their prey with the promise of a false sky or the long-lost glow in their brother's eyes. Grandpa made a living in the cold and dark 8-month mission stretching farther than the vague horizons he remembers from the California coast, hero to all but forgotten by most. Grandpa taught you how to sail and to read between the lines in the sky for the storm story it tells. You taught me how to read them too. This means rain. This means lightning. That is a tornado, and we are sleeping in the basement tonight. Because you're a Navy brat. Lived in 28 of the 50 states. You sit up straight, you're never late. You say grace before every meal, half because religion, half because you like the way those ancient prayerful words feel. Driving cross country with the windows down and the radio up, taking a detour through Albuquerque because you saw a cute boy on the highway who made your mind rush. Wonder where I got that from. A childhood full of just enough hardships to make you strong and just enough joy to make you soft and still for all the storms you could see from half a world away. You didn't see this coming. See, Grandpa taught you how to sail, and he taught you how to drink. And you realized way too late that you were way too good at both. And just 4 days after making me that sober oath, you fell in the bathroom too drunk to feel the skin you broke. And over the years, you swapped bottles for boxes when you realized you preferred the trip to the taste, and screaming back faded into complacent agreement that you need to change, but won't. And we don't go sailing, because you have tacitly taught me to fear that ocean you are sinking into, where one of your sisters and 2 of your brothers are already lost, and another brother drowned so long in that ocean he's now in the ground. You spent so many years saying, at least I'm not him, that you never even bothered to learn how to swim. I somehow thought you'd learn. but you didn't, and you haven't. Grandpa's last words to me were, well, aren't you a tall glass of water and mom? I want to hold your hand, to try to keep your head above the waves, to be a life vest and a daughter, but mama, I am a tall glass of water, and glass sinks.
And rounding off the first round of our Poetry Slam, please put your hands together for Mars O'Shea!
Yeah, but have you tried yoga? And have you tried meditation? And have you tried breathing exercises? And have you tried, there's other different breathing exercise that seems almost exactly like the previous breathing exercise, but a white guy claims he invented it with science. And have you tried going for a walk in nature? And have you tried going for a walk in nature and you stay out too late and you get lost and the sun sets and then you're in a forest clearing and your only company and illumination is the moon glowing ethereally above you? And have you tried finding somewhere to vent your frustrations? Not to me, obviously. Have you tried screaming out your frustrations to the moon that dark night? And have you heard in the ringing silence that follows the moon screaming back? Have you tried to tell yourself that it was an echo or the cry of some startled animal, but you could not shake the certainty that that was the moon crying out its pain raw and ancient? And have you tried a different kind of yoga? Have you tried the yoga they give to astronauts to help with their rehabilitation? Have you watched that one video where the astronaut talks about how helpful that yoga was, especially with the feeling when he got back from the moon that he was always being watched by a presence high above him? Have you tried melatonin? Has melatonin done anything about the dreams where you see the moon as a prisoner bound to the sky for a crime that predates all law? Have you tried psychoanalysis? Have you tried explaining to your psychoanalyst that the dream thing is not a metaphor for feeling trapped by your parents' wishes for you and that you're pretty sure at this point that it is real? Have you tried psychedelics? Have you tried psychedelics and found yourself floating from your body and somewhere back on the moon where that being trapped there talks to you? Have you heard her pain? Did she tell you what you had to do to free her? Have you tried strength training? Have you tried positive affirmations? Have you stood in front of the mirror at the gym and told yourself every day and every way I am getting stronger and closer to freeing my beloved moon from her prison? Have you tried a new hobby? Have you tried metalworking? Have you collected meteoric iron and forged it into a blade and honed that blade so finely that it could rend reality apart? And have you tried detoxing? Has this ritual of purification felt like the final step in your plan to free your lunar goddess? And have you gripped that blade tightly enchanted her 1,000 secret names of that celestial being that you now know as a living creature, a goddess bound to the earth long before whatever hateful god carved men from mud and trapped her there? Have you told yourself that once she is free, this reality that you thought of as the only truth will crumble like civilization, like all lies beneath the cold, beautiful fire of her radiant glory? Have you told yourself that this is what you were always made to do and that you have finally found purpose? And have you tried going gluten-free?
You know, a lot of poets write about the moon. Not like that, though. Fucking hell. Hey, what a first round. What a fucking star. This is why we make Katie judge the slams instead of us, you see. I will say, like, bribing's fine. There's no rules against bribes or anything. If you want to, poets start tucking into the... Who's going to have random cake? You should be doing maths. Anyway, huge thank you to all of our poets who are competing tonight. What an absolutely phenomenal first round. The thing with slams is they are incredibly subjective. Like, as you sit there, you can see, it sounds like the thing you say, everyone's really good, but like everyone is really good. So it becomes very hard to judge. It comes down to like personal preference, who those judges are. And so I think, especially in the UK scene, it's a really good thing that like people don't put too much pressure on slams. They're seen much more as a way to kind of like see a bunch of poets at once, you know what I mean, to get a good cross section, to see all those different styles. And like one of the things we fear happening in the UK scene is it kind of go in the way of the North American scene, where all the poems kind of become the same thing that becomes the slam winning piece. So it's beautiful to see still that in the UK you get that range of poetry whenever you come to a poetry slam. So yeah, big up all of the wonderful poets. I'm so glad I'm not judging. While the maths is being done, I should mention as well, because the thing with slams is they're often used as a way to get like cheap labor out of poets. There is more of a prize than just the honor of holding a belt, which isn't that great really when you look at it. There is a cash prize, I should have said. The winner tonight will win 250 quid, which is pretty cool. So, no pressure if you didn't already aware of that, poets. But while the math is being done and we're seeing who is going to go through to the first round, do you guys mind if I do a little poem? Yeah. Imagine you'd said no. So I kind of became really obsessed with this cave in France during the lockdown. You know how it is. I can't tell whether that's people who know the poem I'm about to do or other cave enthusiasts. But it's a cave... It's a cave in France called Lascaux, and it was found by these kind of young French guys around the Second World War, and they found all these incredible cave paintings inside, and so they like defended it for like a year. They camped out and protected it, and then we turned it into a museum and destroyed it with lights. So they had to build one next door. It's an exact replica, but new. Fucking mind-blowing, like poet, right? You go, ah! So I decided to write a poem about it, and the particular image that I got caught on, there was lots of paintings, but the one I got caught on is these images of hands throughout the caves, and it's a thing throughout the world in cave painting, these sort of negative imprints of hands, and that want to make something that lasts, I guess. Walk in the dark, and it's only soil and stone. Call out and hear only your own echoing tone. This inhospitable hole is the furthest thing from a home. Musty air that swirls with dust, tunnels strewn with bones. This place is old. But so are we. And all we ever needed was the light to see. Flickering flame casts a glow that travels back to the feet of the pack, the bite of the cold, the warmth of the gathering, the joy of a story told. Fire stretches its fingers and black walls flood with colour. The collected work of generations, an art installation 17,000 years in the making, a painstaking effort in a time so hard to survive. No reward in mind. Just a way to say we were alive. Or perhaps there was a purpose, a guide to the flora and fauna that could hurt us, lessons too painful to trust to words spoken. A hall of bulls might simply be the symbol of a single heart broken. Or maybe they're a map, a plan of attack, the animals easiest to track, time spent now but with full-bellied interest later paid back. There is no way of knowing for sure, but these are not the images that act as Lascaux's lure. It's the hands. They are reaching, grasping, pulling directly from the past, the red pigment-blasted absence of a person's pressed palm upon the rock, the thought that you could touch the stone face and place yourself in the exact space of someone so unrecognizable, someone who died before history had begun, but who felt compelled for some memory to be held long after they were gone. How could that be anything but humbling? How could you still your hand from trembling? Would your mind flash to a nursery class full of 21st century children placing painted palms on paper later to be displayed not on cave walls but magnet held to family refrigerators? Would you still see unfathomable distance? Or would you finally understand there has only ever been an arm's reach between us? Big round of applause for my glamorous assistant, Beck Sherwood. Doing the hard work of the math, you know what I mean? Reading, I will read it out in the order they will be coming to the stage, going through to the next round. It will be Mars O'Shea, Jess Smith, Joe Hunter, Dan Weber, Alison Kistner. Can we also get a big round of applause for our poets not going through to the next round who did an amazing job? Amazing job. I want a nice poetry ooh to this next question. You know that poetry sound that when they hit that line, is everyone ready for the second round? Oh, satisfying. We have Jess Smith on deck, but kicking us off, please welcome back to the stage, Mars O'Shea!
A guided meditation. Let your gaze rest gently on no fixed point, seeing but remaining as unfocused as when you watch an old episode of Friends on your laptop while you clean the house. Admit to yourself that nobody really finds Friends funny. It's just comforting, a reminder of a life and a time when everything seemed very predictable, including punchlines. Breathe in fully and then breathe out in a long sigh, like when you accidentally pay too much attention to the episode of Friends and remember that there are a lot more homophobic jokes than you recall. Now allow yourself to breathe normally. Try not to dwell too much on what breathing normally means. That's not very normal. Let your body relax as if you had entered a world where every friend was as cool as Phoebe. Imagine yourself standing on a beach, basking in the warm glow of the sun, digging your toes into sand for some small embrace of earth. Imagine that it is a beach in a summer day in Britain. Oh no, it's full of assholes. UKIP voters, people who are rude to service staff during the Fringe, people who play music directly from their phone out loud on public transport. Nobody cares about your Ibiza mix. Imagine as you breathe in a great wave rising with it and carrying away everybody who is on that beach, leaving nothing but disintegrating sandcastles and waterlogged copies of the Daily Mail. The beach is yours now. Even the seagulls have left it. Imagine yourself surrounded by the cast of Friends. They, like you, are growing as people. Joey and Chandler are holding hands. They have found comfort in their newfound bisexuality. Monica has learned there are things outside of her control. Rachel has learned to be happy with herself. Phoebe is basically the same. But she has eye lasers now. Ross is still the worst. Imagine you and the rest of the Friends putting Ross on a boat. Imagine you pushing the boat out to sea. Your breath comes in, the tide goes out. Your breath comes in, the tide goes out. Ross recedes. A whining speck disappearing into the horizon. Your breath comes in, the tide goes out. Return your attention to the world around you and ask yourself, how are you doing?
We have Joe Hunter on deck, but making their way to the stage, please give it up for Jess Smith!
We've all got demons. I've got a demon. Her name is Pride, and she dresses fine. She likes to show off her slim waist and strong jawline. She's been to Paris and grew up in Japan and speaks 4 languages. Not really, she just speaks enough to make you think she does. But, she'll, and sure, she's made mistakes, but who hasn't? And she'll sweep it under the rug and seal it in jars. The wound never happened if you can't see the scars, the late night, bone deep, desperate scars that never healed quite right because she wouldn't let me ask for help. I've got a demon. Her name is lust, and she lives in your hair and your lips and your eyes and your neck and your skin. She lives in the butterflies that feed off my sin. She speaks a little too quiet, so you have to lean in. She wanders in the wonderings of what it would be like, if not for the year, then just for the night. She wants you to want her the way that she wants you, the way that you haunt her. She wants you to haunt her because you have lit a fire in her chest that cannot be extinguished, except if you kiss her, I still hear her whisper. She comes up with lies that she thinks will divert you from learning the truth. What you don't know won't hurt you. God, she's a bitch! I've got a demon. His name is Sloth, and he is so cute. He is every tiny, fluffy, bumbling puppy and teacup piglet in an actual teacup that has ever existed. He is a kitten that has fallen asleep on the back of a golden retriever. He is so cute. And all I can do is watch him. I watch him when the days are longer than anticipation and when they are shorter than dread. I watch him from the stinging, paralyzing comfort of my bed. He's in the 10-second videos of cats that are suddenly 2 hours later. In video games I've beaten 3 times, but I hear there's a different ending if you played in the least fun way imaginable. He is tired and boring and lazy and draining. He's the part of me who hopes that it never stops raining so I can stay home and play Elden Ring. For hours. And hours and hours alone. I've got a demon. His name is anxiety, and he has wings of electricity and hugs me tightly in every, what did you do? And why are you yelling? And I love you. The shockwaves beat in my chest and get stuck in my throat. I beg him to leave, but he won't let me go. He is so much bigger than me, and I feel so small until I feel I am nothing at all but a burden. We've all got demons, and I don't hate them. I hate when it is simply too much and I cannot ask for help. I hate when the fire in my chest burns so hot that I cannot put it out. I hate when I am tired from sleeping and cannot get up. I hate when my heart is so loud in my ears I cannot think or speak or breathe. I hate when there are so many cannots I begin to wonder if they are will nots. I cannot ask for help. I will not ask for help. I cannot put it out. I will not put it out. I cannot get up. I will not get up. I cannot get better.
We got Dan Weber on deck, but making their way back to the stage right now. Make some noise for Joe Hunter!
I dreamt that you had power over the wind. Full control, as if the air around you was somehow an extension of your soul. You not only saw it as something claimable, but claimed it whole. As if you couldn't tell where you ended and it began. You were translucent, hard to identify, hard to decipher the man that you were, or are, or could be, but it was you. It was your face. Forgiving, complacent, tired, a contradiction from the power that you held that required this threatening aura, the chaos that surrounded you, the fact that you were the center of that chaos, the powerhouse too. I dreamt that you destroyed me, and everything that I was, you tore me to shreds, to molecules, to anomalies in physics laws, and your face never changed. The colorless caveats didn't sharpen or dull, the same defeated tones as your voice maintained defeated lulls. I dreamt so many times. The same dream, the same life, and the same abrupt stop. I dreamt that I killed you. The wind stops, everything clear. Peel away transparent layers of false power to find you here. You were not some omnipotent evil god. You were a scared, defenseless child. As inferior and as insignificant as a deer in the wild. I'm starting to wonder if you controlled the wind or if it controlled you. You have control of so little else. Perhaps there was nothing that you could do. I dreamt that your presence and your absence posed the same threat. Because when I killed you, your dust began to set, and it was a sad and solemn reminder of your pain and your regret. And I became the wind and the fire and the wet, and I could end you, end me, render all of these things obsolete. I could set fire to every forest that the world dared to plant. I could extinguish those flames with my bare hands. I could make pictures of my grief out of the earth. But they wouldn't bring you back. So the actions have no worth. I dreamt that you had power over the wind. Or in some capacity, the power didn't belong only to you, but also to me. You may have been the wind blowing the pages in the sun, but I was the ink immortalized on every single one. Thank you.
Our penultimate poet will be Alison Kistner, but coming to the stage right now, Dan Weber!
If you have enjoyed my work tonight, my name is Dan Weber. If you haven't, I'm Jason Manford. Please tweet accordingly. This is called Homo on the Rocks. I'm at a house party, playing catch-up, starting to feel the effects of a few cocktails, and I set sail back to the bar. I'm stood, looking over the booze, trying to choose, when this guy next to me says, "Hey, mate. Mate. Hey, mate. Mate. Hey, mate. Mate. You don't want that drink? That drink is a gay drink." Now, by this point, I've had a few sherries. And I'm feeling, pretty merry. Perhaps a touch more unsteady than I care to admit. But I reckon I can still hit this idiot, if it comes to it. "A gay drink?" I reply, manic twitch in my eye, and I see the guy's face just drop. And before anyone can stop me, I say, "Do you know exactly who you're talking to? I'm Grindr's finest. The only homosexual in the room. And for you to assume that my choice of drink in any way reflects my sexuality is a travesty. It's 2022. Where have you been? And what have you done? And what can I do to help you overcome this belief that gay means bad or inferior in any way? It's sad, really." He apologizes for any offense. And I spend the next 20 minutes sat outside, furiously texting my friends. In the morning, he may not remember. Liquor loosens lips. But I hope before the next time he opens his mouth, he thinks.
Coming up to the stage right now, please go wild for Alison Kestner!
I'm wearing a leather jacket this time, so you know I'm cool. For context, this is called Confessions at the End of the Holocene. Like light, I walk naked through corridors, and I name back the animals. Mammoth, stellar sea cow, black rhino, or girl. When I shower, I also sing their lost bodies against the surface of water, because I know it will not lie to me. My tongue unearthed completely, errant with love for what was almost the sea. Like black currants, lemon foam, the crab apples my mother once let wild in the yard. There's so much of what's dead I cannot recapture. In childhood, I used to gut the apples' small bellies with a small metal spoon, and now I don't eat with anyone. I order milkshakes to our door and drink the cold down in immaculate solace. Like light, I don't want someone to know me. I only want your inattention for an afternoon. Your eyelids burnished like whistling kettles or like koi beneath inanimate pools. My mind tipping towards rust by proximity. Where our egos leave more to desire, we've become sentimental with rug burns and plastic bottles. We housebreak grief as a pet. How like a dog, I don't think so much about the ways we might die as the day you threatened to kill me. You were weeping, cry violets on the bathroom tile, a flower that is not real. You said how you loved me, did not say, I will not love you, did not say, I cannot love, you say, like light, like light. And I don't want to make jokes about the end of the world, but I am rapping at doors in mistranslation. What are you? Who am I? Where are you? What's there? The dodo, the blue buck, a sea wolf at the threshold of my scavenging heart, gone to sleep in the night. I can be very honest this time. I am only pretending not to be desperate. Before using the phone, I used to practice my vowels, E, I, O. I wanted them round or soft as a starlet's, as though my tongue were moneyed or drugged. I used to dream of a high-wired man who'd beam through my second-floor window to sleep with me. I liked him because he meant I could be wanted without choosing to touch, the way light simmers inside of a pupil. I'm not there. I'm not there. I can't name you back, or our animals, but I can catalog our extinction. We are both in a room as our bodies dissolve. We are both in this room, each greeting the dawn through its overbite. Our room is the jaw. Our house, containing everything we've owned, has caught to flame. I cannot, will not, do not protect you. But will you text me back? Say you made it home safely. How will you feed yourself when the birds die, our oceans unbloom? Remember, not all fruit are self-fertile. Take the apple. You need 2 varieties of a similar kind to cross-pollinate, to hold them as closely as bordering suns.
Can we get a big round of applause for all of our second round poets? The judges are panicked. I'll do one then, Sean, no worries. The bell rings for 5th period on a rainy day in mid-March, and we do, in single file down one-way halls to Ms. McDonald's class, in which I have garnered a reputation for luring our sociology teacher into work-avoiding arguments where capitalism takes on Marx. If you're not a Marxist by the time you're 18, you're heartless. If you're still a Marxist by the time you're 30, you're brainless. turned 30 now. But it's not that quote that lasts. Instead, I am stuck on the misquote, tacked above her, long in need of replacing chalk-stained blackboard. All it takes for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. Not a platitude, but a promise. To never falter in the face of fear or let courage lack. To weather apathy's relentless attack. Encourage those we oppose to still mark their X. Find their spot on the political map. Empathy, compromise, debate. At 14, Ms. McDonald taught me all of that. One day she let me use the phone in her office, a call to join a political party she openly described as utter crap. The closest I ever came to cracking her ridiculous claim of having no political bias. She challenged every idea I ever expressed, not to discourage or chide, but always to test each and every claimed conviction's strength. It is not enough to pick red or blue and simply hope for the best. This is not the fucking Matrix. A statement in which each new political development slowly erodes my confidence, because we have been taught not just to accept our lot, but to long for it, hold on to it, cherish a system not fit for purpose out of fear of the consequence. But true terror lies in the fact that given much longer, this might be all there is. But we are not powerless. And knowledge isn't a weapon, it's a catalyst. And there's never been a time where the chemicals of change were easier for us to access, so we cannot hold on to the same old tribal factions, political bias, letting well-practiced deflection tactics distract us from what is actually happening this planet. And too many on it are needlessly dying. Because it's only ever in the stories David alone beats Goliath. In reality, it takes all of us to do good to block evil from triumph. It's good she saved you from another poem. Great timing, Bex. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, going through to the final. You guys are way ahead of the game. In the order they will be reading, up first, we will have Jess Smith, followed by Mars O'Shea. Can we get another big round of applause for all of our poets so far? See how I stalled for you there so you could get a little time? It's really nice of me, right? And now I've drawn attention to it, so that's even better. Guys, are you ready for your final round? Then please put your hands together and give the warmest welcome to Jess Smith!
She's like a kid who never got bored of Minecraft. Because every block held promises greater than its pixels, pistons firing to open gates to worlds never explored, merely atoms in her eyes. She built horse armor and beacons and physics and life. She smells like freshly ground coffee and looks like sunbeams breaking through stained glass, draining into organ pipes and echoing in rib cage choirs all the way down into shadows and dark places. She stands in Grecian courts, draped in robes of foggy afternoons, ruling with a scepter made of the space-time continuum, sketching stories into stars that will someday be written into musty books stacked on towering library shelves. She is a library, remembered and loved by those special few, but blamed for her scars written by somebody else's frustrations when they pushed a little too hard. She feels like a scraped knee, when she whispers mortality in your ear, not in hopes that you'll flee in fear, but so you take a second to remember how good a heartbeat feels, that there are people who will never be able to stub their toes or break their nose or watch the extended version of The Lord of the Rings. It is too long. And she sounds like a river, rushing over boulder and pebble mistakes, dragging the jagged downstream only to have it smooth by the other side, deep and wide, and carving her songs and her histories into every knuckle crease and laugh line. And she is beautiful. I know because I've seen her survive leviathans below and face beanstalk giants above. I have seen her drown in silver lakes of betrayal and come up breathing love. I've seen her travel through hellfire history just to witness the first sunrise as it pours over Pangea. I've heard her speak sun gods from their thrones just with words of forgiveness. I've seen her catch Icarus and hold Sisyphus and love Narcissus and sing Pandora back to sleep. And I call her God, and you call her strength or light or life or whatever keeps the demons away or nothing at all, and that's fine. But for me, for all those times I have stumbled, she has never let me fall.
For your final performer of the 2022 Loud Poets Fringe Slam, please go absolutely wild for Mars O'Shea!
A werewolf manifesto for hurt, queer, angry creatures. First, you must admit the beast's existence. You thrice-bitten moonstruck thing feel a fraud. Clad in false skin, you've tried to blend in or else separate yourself, secluded in deep shadows. Admit what you have disowned. Denial will cure no malady. A hard step now, a muddy middle ground. We must learn not to fear the beast. You doubtless did not ask to be with wolf. Nevertheless, this wolf is with you. In small advances, approach it anew with as little reproach or judgment as you can muster. Resist the urge to drive it back, to replicate the wounds that set it into hiding. We come in time to learn we fear the beast because we were taught to. Men may hunt and wield their butcher blades, more cruel than any claw, yet it is your wolf you were taught to call monstrous. And now, we must admit, the beast is beautiful. Too long taught to avert our gaze, we ignored the grace and power hidden beneath fur, soft and sleek, or sometimes raised in waves along the neck. Those teeth that glisten like pearls between lips rolled back, those eyes that shine so bright they light up the witching hour, and now, we must admit, the beast is powerful. Those lips you kept shut to hide your fangs, bare them with glee. At men who invade your space, show them how soft a human throat can be. Those limbs once frozen spring into action to propel you over pitfalls of shame, and those claws, how you have misused them. Turn them inwards to rend your own flesh out of fear of hurting those you love. Now learn to wield them with skill and fabulous grace. To pierce veils of deceit, to sever bonds of oppression, to defend the members of your chosen pack. This is the Werewolf Manifesto. We are the beasts, and the beast is a part of us. Call out your challenge. Come, you hunters. Bring your silver to the wolf den. I shall make a meal of your attempts to harm us. We'll melt down your blades and cast them anew as jewels to shower over my friends and lovers. With love and rage, the Werewolf International.
Those are your three finalists. We will soon know who the slam champion is. In the meantime, I think I'll do a little love poem. I know, right? So I don't do this poem a lot, mostly because it's one of my older poems. And so I started using it as like a mic check poem. It's just the first poem in my head. Now, we've been doing these shows a while. And so that has led to all of the Loud Poets and our wonderful technician, Roddy, knowing that poem off by heart and mouthing it at me as I do it. Or just in everyday life quoting lines at me, and it's fucking annoying. So while I can't see them because it's dark, I'll do the poem. I want to be a mountain so that you and I can stand side by side and make valleys together. I want to be the East Coast of America so you can be the West, and when separation puts our love to the test, a nation will build railroads for us. I want to be the sun so you can be the moon, and when we align, the whole world will look up, but it'll be so dark only we can see what we're doing. I want to be Adam and Eve before the shame of fig leaves so we can be the first to experience kiss and touch and love and lust. I want to be Batman so you can be Wonder Woman and we can make fun of Aquaman together. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want you, and I want you to want me too. I want to swim in your eyes, not because they're blue, because they have unexplored depths, and I want to dive to the bottom of you. I want you to be my first sober first kiss. I want you to make up for all the drunken ones I've missed, because I honestly can't think of a drink I want to taste more than your lips. I want to be every blade of grass. So when at last the sun begins to rise, I know you'll be holding me like morning dew. I guess what I'm trying to say is I want you. And I want you to know. I don't say this with ease. I was ready to swear off love for good until you swept in like an ocean breeze and blew my line in the sand back into beach again. And I've wanted to tell you this 1,000,000 times before, but instead I write love poems. I don't have to write them anymore. Pulling focus, you know. Just before I read this, I mostly let the poet sweat because I quite enjoy that. I don't do slams, so this is a lot of fun for me. Just as a sort of heads up, this is the end of our run, but we will be back with more Loud Poets. We have shows here in September as part of our big funded season that we have coming up. And a little sneak peek just for you guys, we've only got Joe fucking Bell coming up, which is going to be crazy in September. So do come along. We also, if you've just come along and you're like, this is cool, I want to do this, then we have a open mic. We are running our open mic the last Monday of every month, just down the Royal Mile at Kilderkin, down the road. If you want to sign up, if you've been writing away and these guys have inspired you as they should have, then please do let us know. We have sign-ups for the next one. We have a mailing list if you want to keep up to date with what's going on, not just with Loud Poets and I Am Loud, but spoken word across the UK. We try and make sure we do roundups of all the months that we know that are going on. UK spoken word is incredible. The scene is insane. The depth of talent, of voices, the range of voices, the quality of the creativity going on is stellar. Spoken word theatre, you have stand-up spoken word artists, you have people crossing over with hip-hop, doing some of the most amazing work you will see anywhere in the country, but it gets overlooked. So if you're looking to find spoken word wherever you are, please let us know. Come up and have a chat. We will happily point you in the right direction. If you're looking to catch more online, we have recorded our whole Fringe. Oh my days, was that a lot of recording? But it's so that we can put out video work all through the year. We put out videos from our monthly shows, from our Fringe shows, special digital projects that we've done. It's all to try and raise the profile and showcase more excellent spoken word. So please do, if you'd like to, I Am Loud Pro on all the socials. Check that out. But for now, the winner. We usually introduce our last guests with the loud rumble, but we're going to give it to this. Get those feet going. Get it building up. Hands clapping. Build up the noise. winner's Mars O'Shea! How glorious is that? Would you like to do a poem that closes out?
Sure. I am going to wear that to the club. Every club. I didn't think this would happen, so I didn't pick a fourth poem. Give me like 10 seconds to figure out what I'm doing. Well, since I won't be... this is one I never get to do at slams because they don't let you sing. So I'm going to do it. The singing parts are from my favorite Mountain Goat song, and it's called Love, Love, Love. King Saul fell on his sword when it all went wrong. Joseph's brothers sold him down the river for a song. Sonny Liston rubbed some tiger balm into his gloves. Some things you do for money, some you do for love, love, love. Each of you is a reminder to us of what love can be. You are cruelty, freedom, the beating heart. You're the leading light that shines and sparks. You're a burning sensation, or at least a smolder. You are Sisyphus pushing up his boulder. You are all the reasons the seasons change. You are curling clouds, you are sun, and you are rain. You are her eyes like gas fires, his passionate tears. You are my source of total irrational fear. You are my ex calling me at 4 a.m. You are me calling my ex back at 5 a.m. You are inadvisable sex at 6 a.m. You're churning guts and your mistakes, and you're the perfect gift on their birthday. You can be cruelty and chaos and fate, and you can be madness and stasis and change. And Raskolnikov felt sick, but couldn't say why. When he saw his face reflected in his victim's twinkling eyes. Some things you do for money, some you do for fun, but the things you do for love are gonna come back to you one by one. Love, love is gonna lead you by the hand into a wide and soundless place. Now we see things as in a mirror dimly, and soon we shall see each other face to face, and you'll find me face to face it. I am nothing until I'm seen your gaze. It's as blind as I am, as all lovers are. It's an idiot tin man lacking his heart. It's a sometimes awful experience, but awfully perfect or kind, or the fear is overwhelming at times when you're waiting for phone calls or last chances at those tropic storm romances, because I want the love that exhausts me, to run a marathon over your body, to do calisthenics over your tongue. I want a love that burns my lungs, and I want a love like my heart's gonna pop, and I'm starting to think I'm not fit enough. I want the love that's the moment we stop moving. Relief is enough to overwhelm us with peace, that sensation of stillness, it thrills us. I want the love that eventually kills us. And way out in Seattle, young Kurt Cobain snuck out to the greenhouse, put a bullet in his brain. Snakes in the grass beneath our feet, rain in the clouds above. Some moments last forever, then some flare out with love, love, love. Some flare out quickly, and some are old fires burning the embers no longer bright, they fade. Because it seems like no love is better than what got away, or no love is better than bygone days. It's bullshit. Love is a series of moments, a binding rope to hold us from past to future. Through present, you will be every future ex-lover's presence. Love is ties that bind us, that hold us together in tangled strings, or hold you to bedposts if that's your thing. And it's love in the time of cholera. And it's love in the time of push-up bras. And it's love in the time of sweatpants romancing. And it's love in the time of all-night dancing.
Give it up for your 2022 Loud Poets Slam champion, Mars O'Shea!
Thank you so much, everyone.
Everybody, we are going to be going for a drink after this. Please come and close the Fringe with us. We're going to be down at the Kilderkin On behalf of myself, Kevin McLean, for Katie Ailes, for Beck Sherwood, for Mark Galley, who missed this evening, we just want to say thank you so much for supporting us throughout the run. A huge thank you to all the staff here at the Storytelling Centre, to that fucking legend in the booth, Roddy, to all of the poets we featured this month, and especially for our slammers this evening. This has been Loud Poets. I've been Kevin McLean. You've been fucking awesome. We will see you again. Good night!
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, we'd appreciate it if you could hit the like button, if you could hit the subscribe button, and make sure to ring that bell icon so you don't miss any updates from us in the future. If you want to go that extra mile and support us a little further, we do have a Patreon channel with loads of exclusive goodies, and you can sign up for as little as $1 a month. We appreciate your help, guys, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.